Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Candace Locke at Somerset Health and Wellness Center, and I am with Dr. Clare Sullivan, who is one of the newer members to the Somerset team. She's not new to the profession, but we managed to recruit her in the summer, which we are super pumped about because she's awesome. So we're just doing this Meet the Doc series, and so Claire is up, and we're going to chat a little bit today about who she is and what she likes to do and who she likes to see and a bunch of other things. And we'll find out what's in her cupboard as well. So Dr. Clare, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I am obviously a naturopathic doctor. I graduated with Dr. Candace, how many years ago? Almost 13 years ago now, which is crazy. We're teenagers. I am a mother of three, and I am an avid outdoorsy type person. I love gardening and doing all types of things crafty. So, and cooking, nutrition is a big piece of my passion as well.
That sounds like a very true naturopath. Gardening and the canning and the cooking and the whole thing. Exactly. And I will say I have benefited from Claire's cooking, and it's very delicious. So
it's one of the things that I made during the pandemic is actually cooking for other people. I'm like desperate to cook for others. So hopefully I can do that again soon.
Well, we're desperate to eat your cooking. So hopefully this all ends soon. Okay. Yes. So just before we started recording, we were chatting a little bit about, speaking of the pandemic and things that you like to do that bring you joy. What are some of the things that you've been able to do for yourself throughout all of this with a family, a big family, 3 kids, and a spouse that I know still has to travel for work and maintain his schedule? That's a lot to take on. So how are you and what are you doing to kind of keep yourself sane?
I am well, but it's been a bit of a carving out time for myself process over the pandemic. So my kids are a little bit older. My oldest is actually turning 13 as well. So that has been easier to get away because there's a few extra hands in the house that can take care of the younger ones. But one of the things that Candace and I were talking about was really almost reaching that breaking point where I was like, if I don't start taking care of myself, I will not be able to take care of my family. So it really was out of necessity that I had to carve out some time for myself. So early mornings, meditation, lots of deep breathing exercises, which my kids, I can definitely hold my breath longer and breathe out longer than my children, which they're impressed with. I don't get out often for solo type activities such as skiing or skating, but I was able to yesterday on Family Day, which meant I came back to my family refreshed and ready to jump in full force.
That's great. I think it's so hard to recognize sometimes. I think especially as moms and as women, that piece of self-care. I think we do tend to sort of focus on our families a lot. So congratulations on hitting the self-care before the burnout and the puddle on the floor, which sometimes happens even for us. I know that for me too. I'm starting to recognize when I get a little bit more irritable and a little bit more grumpy that I need to go for a walk by myself or do something. And sometimes it's hard to ask for those things, but they are, I think, important for all of us to do, for sure.
Absolutely. And the other piece that I've really taken on is checking in and apologizing, especially to my children when I do lose it. So having that communication and understanding that it wasn't really them, it was I was being triggered, and I apologized and have taken care of it, and they're usually fine with it, but it's important to have the conversation.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's a great way to raise good little humans too, who understand that emotions are okay to have, and that we all have them. Even as parents, we're not sort of always in a steady state, and I think that's important for them to see, so that as they get older and have their own emotions, that they're going to be able to to know that it's okay to express them. So
Yeah.
yeah, which is hard. I know sometimes
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we always want to be
Absolutely.
like everything's rosy and great, but that's especially, I think, harder now when we don't have all of our pieces that we used to do right now
Yes.
with the pandemic going on. But
Hmm.
um, yeah, so that's good. I'm happy to hear that you're carving out some time for
Yeah.
yourself. What kinds of things do you like to see in practice, Claire?
I I like I have a general family practice because I do see all ages, but really digestion is kind of where I start with everyone. So where digestion usually takes me is the skin and digestion piece is kind of closely related. So I do a lot with that, a lot with food sensitivities, a lot with just kind of retraining gut health and eating habits. I also do IV therapy, which I think ties well into that digestive piece because if we're not absorbing our nutrients, it's really hard to make some of the dietary changes that we as naturopaths expect people to do. So I love that piece, especially when it comes to digestion. And the other piece that I love is when I get to see families. So one, because I have a family and am in it all the time, I understand some of the challenges of like what I'm expecting families to do, so I can help people walk through that. But seeing the dynamics between families, I always find interesting and helps to kind of uncover some of the root causes and how we can different ways of finding solutions to their health concerns.
Yes,
Mhm.
that's true when you get to see families. And I think sometimes, I mean, we've been, like you said, in practice for 13 years. So things that have taken us over a decade to kind of implement as these rote things that we just do for our health is so new for a lot of patients. So that's a good reminder to start with the basics sometimes and
Yes,
changes.
yeah. Small changes make a big difference.
Absolutely. Um, any podcasts or books that you're reading that have inspired you or made you laugh or scared you or whatever whatever it is that have entertained you somehow in some
Entertain
way?
me. I starting to work at Somerset, I have become a much more avid podcast listener. So I have loved Brene Brown, both her Dare to Lead and her oh my goodness, I've been listening to that
Unlocking Us. Yeah.
Unlocking Us. So really, and then going down that rabbit hole. So I'll listen to someone on her podcast and then research that person and go down that. People keep popping up. So I've really enjoyed her, both kind of for professional side and personal growth. Other people, I have some. What are the other ones? I could pull out my phone, but um, the SIBO doctor, I've been enjoying that in terms of work. The anthropology podcast, again, work related. Most of my podcasting is more for personal growth and work, but not so much fun. And then reading, I have a book of short stories that I'm reading right now. It's just very strange, and I cannot remember the story, the actual title. But every short story I read, and I'm like, that was so bizarre. Anyway, they're entertaining and they're like short enough that I can stay awake for the whole story.
Oh, that's good. Yes. Sometimes I find novels can be a challenge if there's lots happening. I mean,
Yeah,
I love to read too, but a short story is kind of nice because you can get engaged for a short period of time, and you don't have to remember the 40 characters.
exactly. You don't have to keep rereading the same like page to remember what's going on. But I'll take a picture of it when you publish it, and I'll add it to the comment
Yeah,
section.
for sure. For sure. That would be good.
Yeah.
Now I know that you are a great cook and an avid gardener, but is there anything in your pantry that people would be
Oh my
surprised
goodness.
by?
Yes. More what I possibly could feed my children. But this weekend we enjoy the outdoors. So my kids enjoy skating and skiing and just being outside hiking. We do some canoe camping. So trail mix always comes along, and they were making their list of trail mix, and I do the grocery shopping and cringe as I fill my cart with all the things they want in their trail mix. But um, you know,
It's always got to have some chocolate, though. I mean,
there was chocolate, there were some gummies, there was some marshmallows. Anyway, um, there was a few guilty pleasures. That is not my favorite. My guilty pleasures more come in the form of coffee and wine. So that's mine. But yes, the trail mix, I would say, can generally be found if there's some kind of outdoorsy trip coming along.
yes. Yeah. I'm
Hmm.
also a big fan of trail mix for sure.
Yeah,
So good.
had so many good
Um,
things.
yes. Yes. Oh, what else? Is there anything else you'd like to share, Claire, about yourself, your practice?
I am really excited to be at Somerset. I think we have a wonderful team. We have a very supportive team, wonderful front desk staff. So I feel like I can do my best job because I have all of this support around me. So that's been wonderful. Um, I also think it's really important to just in general have a team of support worker, like support healthcare practitioners around you. So the pandemic has been long, and I'm feeling it personally, and I know my patients are
Mhm.
feeling it as well. So I think that's the self care piece. Really, we need to take care of our health, um, even more so when we're also feeling isolated. So um, the Somerset community can definitely help with that. So yeah, I'm just thrilled to be part of the team, and thrilled that we have these tools as naturopaths to help support people through this tough
Mhm.
time.
Yes, yes, me too. And we're also very thrilled to have you on board
Mhm.
as well. I'm so happy that you joined us.
Yay!
And
Thank
anyways, if you guys want to get to know Dr. Claire better, you can definitely send us an email, hit her up for a meet and greet, come in for some IV
you.
therapy.
Great.
Um, and thank you, Claire, for taking the time to chat with me today.
Thanks for talking.